entertainment, log on and subscribe to www.youtube.com/Venus.
Let us all rise for the national anthem.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता। पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा। विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा। तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे। गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता। जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे। जन गण मन
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you all to the momentous occasion of MOU signing between Pimpri Chinchwad Smart City Limited (PCSCL) and Sri Balaji University, Pune.
With great pleasure, we extend to you all a very warm welcome on behalf of Sri Balaji University, Pune.
Light is a symbol of brightness and prosperity. As sunlight expels the darkness of night, similarly, blessings bring in our life prosperity and happiness. We at Sri Balaji University, Pune follow the tradition of lighting a lamp and seeking blessings from God before any important occasion. I would like to request our Honorable Chief Guest and other dignitaries on the dais to light the lamp and give a start to this awaiting auspicious occasion.
On this occasion, I, Divyan Singh, Student Manager BIMHRD,
And I, Priya Tulsiani, Student Manager BIMHRD,
are honored to be the masters of the ceremony for today's function.
we take great privilege to welcome our chief guest, Honorable Shri Shekhar Singh Ji, CEO PCSCL and Commissioner PCMC, who has built a synergy with Sri Balaji University Pune for MOU signing and to inaugurate our Entrepreneurship Development Cell. We are grateful for your presence, sir. And we also welcome our guests, Dr. Sanjay Gandhi, VP of PMA and a member and a skill expert at India CSR, and Manoj Mishra, startup mentor at Finanza Holding Private Limited, who have agreed to share their valuable time and knowledge with our student managers today.
I would also like to welcome Professor B. Parmanandan, Pro-Chancellor SBUP, Professor Dr. G. K. Shurade, Vice Chancellor SBUP, Deans, Directors, faculty members, and all my student managers. Thank you all for gracing us with your presence.
On this solemn occasion, we fondly remember our founder and chancellor, Professor Dr. Colonel A. Balasubramanian, lovingly called as Bala Sir. He was a person who was very humble and cared for his students more than anyone else. He gave us a mantra: problems are opportunities, which we are still practicing till date.
The cornerstone of SBUP has been laid on three pivotal cardinal virtues: discipline, dedication, and determination. Following these three values, our institute endeavors to deliver meticulous state-of-the-art education with a strong prominence on hands-on training and overall student advancement.
Since its inception 2 decades ago, Sri Balaji University has 4 institutes. Balaji Institute of Management and Human Resource Development (BIMHRD) is proud of its sister institutes, which are Balaji Institute of Modern Management (BIMM), Balaji Institute of Technology and Management (BITM), and Balaji Institute of International Business (BIIB). Our university enjoys an excellent reputation in the corporate industry. Thanks to our 20,000 plus alumni who are spread all over the world and are bringing glory to our university. Our university has been ranked by the Times of India B School Survey 2021 and as one of the top 11 B schools in India, third private university in India, one of the top 2 B schools in Pune, and one amongst top 4 B schools in the West. Now, I would like to request Professor B. Parmanandan, Pro-Chancellor SBUP, to welcome Honorable Shri Shekhar Singh Ji with a bouquet.
Now, I would like to request Dr. Dimple Saini, Dean SBUP, to welcome Dr. Sanjay Gandhi with a bouquet. Thank you, ma'am.
May I now request Dr. G.Y. Shitole, Principal, Undergraduate Program SBUP, to welcome Mr. Manoj Mishra with a bouquet. Thank you, sir.
Now, I would like to request Dr. Anil Keskar, Head R&D Cell and Advisor, Sri Balaji University, Pune, to deliver the welcome address.
Chief guest for today's function, Honorable Sri Shekhar Singh Ji, IAS, Commissioner of PCMC and CEO of Sbup-Pcscl-Mou Smart City Limited. Professor Parmanandan Balasubramaniam, Pro-Chancellor of SBUP, Dr. Dimple Saini ma'am, Dean and Senior Director, Directors, Deputy Directors, my fellow colleagues and dear student managers. It gives me immense pleasure to extend a very warm welcome to all of you here today on a very important occasion of signing of an MOU with Sbup-Pcscl-Mou Smart City Corporation. For this momentous occasion, we have today with us none other than the Honorable Sri Shekhar Singh Ji, IAS Commissioner of PCMC and CEO of Sbup-Pcscl. Sri Balaji University, Pune, built on the three pillars of discipline, determination, and dedication, is an ongoing endeavor to transform raw talent of our student managers into future corporate leaders who can effectively handle the professional challenges and take businesses to greater heights. We believe in holistic development of our students, and hence we join hands with external institutions to provide platforms to our students for their overall development. We have in the past already collaborated many national and international organizations so far to achieve our goal in this regard. Under the directives of our beloved Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi ji, many cities in the country have taken up the development of this initiative to improve people's quality of living by using best practices, information and Information and Digital Technology, our own city of PCMC is one of them. We are really glad today that our university is getting actively associated with this initiative. It will be a pleasure for all of us to contribute our best in this respect. By getting associated with this project, we shall strive our best in whatever we can in this endeavor. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
May I now request Professor B. Parmanandan, Pro-Chancellor SBUP and President Shri Balaji Society to address the gathering.
A very good morning to all of you. सुबह सुबह आप लोग बहुत ठंडे ठंडे दिख रहे हो. A very good morning to all of you. Thank you first of all to be here. I know in the morning आप भी सोच रहे हो कि सुबह सुबह भाषण तो नहीं होगा. But see, everywhere when we talk about an MOU, it's just like a starting of a relationship, you know. In any relationship, we have to think about what is there for us also. So as a university, you know, we are celebrating our 25 years today in this year. We are also thinking times have changed. Pandemic has changed the world in a very, very different way. आप लोग भी सोचते होंगे क्लासरूम में 4 वॉल्स के अंदर बैठे बैठे क्या सचमुच पढ़ाई हो जाती है क्या? We should also think about, you know, what is happening outside the world also. Today, government is playing a major role in different activities. There are a lot of new initiatives which are coming up. So as a university, we are also thinking, you know, whether we should change ourselves. You know, start challenging ourselves and, you know, start thinking in what way we can train you in a different way. There is also a major goal, you know, we are known for placements. हमने कम से कम अभी तक मेरे ख्याल से 22,000 तो सिर्फ MBA के placement कराते होंगे for all these years. But other than that, we have thousands of lawyers and thousands of, you know, commerce graduates who are passed out from our other colleges also. If you check our, you know, performance of law college, they are the toppers of Pune universities. It's not. इंडिया में पढ़ाई का सिस्टम जो है ना थोड़ा टेढ़ा मेढ़ा होता है. मैक्सिमम हम लोग जेरोक्स कॉपी बन जाते हैं. वी आर जस्ट ट्राइंग टू लर्न एंड यू नो रिमेंबर थिंग्स. बट एप्लीकेशन इज अ मेजर चैलेंज. Everybody here, you know, is looking for jobs and everybody gets a jobs also. The question is not only getting a job. Question is also in a nation of 1.4 billion people, how this nation will grow and how you will grow in future. Parents लोग सोचते हैं, you know, हमको क्या चाहिए? Stability चाहिए. You know, हमारी life, you know, settle होनी चाहिए. आपको भी पता है आजकल stability और settle word बड़े पुराने ज़माने के हो गए हैं. What is important today is having the right skill. And skills भी लेकिन आजकल, you know, जब देखो expire हो जाते हैं. तो सवाल क्या है कि how you survive in this world and where we grow also. What is important is of course your attitude and other things also. Today, you know, when we are trying to tie up with an eminent PCMC municipality, please understand PCMC is one of the huge bodies of India. They control one of the biggest industrial belt of this country, one of the biggest IT belt of this country, one of the biggest pharma industry in India. They are all located in PCMC area. And sir is managing the show here. And it's our honor to have a person like that here in this campus. Our honorable chief guest of the day, Mr. Shekhar Singh sir, who is here. And instead of me talking all the time, you know, I would like to hear from him. He is very young. अभी आपके ज़माने में जैसे हम लोग का सबका ड्रीम होता है IIT से पढ़ो या फिर USA में जाकर एक ME भी कर लो. Sir has done all those things. But instead of being settled there, वहाँ पे जाकर डॉलर कमाने से अच्छा, he has come back to this country to contribute, to become part of this Indian dream. And it is honorable to have people like him here in this campus. Sir, welcome to this campus. And I'm happy that, you know, लाइफ में हमको ना रिस्क लेना जरूरी है, याद रखो. We want to start the initiative of our startups also. This year we want to start in a different way for our juniors and seniors and MBA batches also. We want to start, startups in our campus. We want to start up an incubation center for them so that, they start thinking about how to, make your ideas into some businesses so which will allow this country to go. Remember, आज की तारीख में India is one of the largest unicorns we have, Of course, there are startups are also plenty out there. मैं 2 दिन पहले अपने एक स्टूडेंट से मिला था, he was from BITM. और बोल रहा था मैंने कन्नू की चाय की 3 दुकानें, I control 3 franchises. And he has worked in corporate industry for 3 years. And he was very happy. He was like, ठीक है sir, life में struggle होगा, long hours होंगे. But I want to do something which will make me happy. So what is important today is, trying to be happy, to challenge yourself, to understand your potential. It's not easy, remember. Life is not easy. But life has so many opportunities for all of you. जैसे बाला सर हमेशा बोलते थे, problems are opportunities. हर problem के पीछे बहुत सारी opportunities है. The question is whether we'll grab it or not, whether we are hungry or not, whether we are really want to do something or not, or we just want to do bol bachand. So from my side, let's hear from the sir. All the best. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Before we proceed further, I would like to request Dr. Manisha Paliwal, Deputy Head Research and Development Cell, SBUP, to brief about the collaboration between Pimpri-Chinchwad Smart City Limited, PCSCL, and Sri Balaji University, Pune.
Yeah, thank you. Respected dignitaries on the dais, Honorable Shri Shekhar Singh Ji, IAS, CEO Pimpri-Chinchwad Smart City Limited and Commissioner of PCMC, respected Anand Sir, Pro-Chancellor SBUP and President SBS, respected Dr. Dimple Sani Madam, Dean and Senior Director, speakers of the day, directors, deputy directors, faculty members, and my dear students. It is my proud privilege to brief all of you about Pimpri-Chinchwad Smart City and SBUP collaboration. Well, we all know Sri Balaji University, Pune is an institution of excellence in the field of management education in India. Today, we are entering in an MOU with Pimpri-Chinchwad Smart City. As Anand sir just mentioned that Government of India is taking various initiatives. So the Smart City Mission in India is a flagship initiative of the Indian government aimed at transforming cities and towns to make them more livable, sustainable, and inclusive. The mission encourages the development of smart cities that incorporate technology and innovation to improve the quality of life for citizens. The MOU will be signed for the creation of a mutual, collaborative, joint effort by both SBUP and Pimpri-Chinchwad Smart City in order to jointly identify fields of mutual interest and create opportunities to collaborate with the government and participate in the development of smart cities, with a vision to develop the most livable city of India by 2030, powered by sustainable and inclusive economic growth with an innovative administrative system and smart and holistic city development. Pimpri-Chinchwad Smart City has been very successful in all its endeavor since 2017. This MOU would allow us, all of us, to work with the government to identify and implement solutions for various urban challenges. Here I would just like to grab attention of Honorable Commissioner sir. Sir, yesterday, the World Water Day we have celebrated in a very different way. We got an opportunity to get a virtual desk at United Nations conference. So for more than half of the day, various international and national delegations happened and the water issue was discussed. So one of the solution was that Smart City Mission is going to give one solution to the water crisis. So we all are eager to join hands with Smart City Mission for the development. As we all know, PCMC Smart Sarthi is an initiative of Pimpri-Chinchwad Smart City Corporation Limited in collaboration with PCMC to create a sustainable two-way citizen engagement platform. So here we are looking for this MOU to organize collaborative activities for research related to citizen engagement, internship opportunities for our students in various projects of PCMC and Smart City, along with enabling the participation of faculty members, staff, employees and officers of SBUP and Pimpri-Chinchwad Smart City on various opportunities identified by both the parties, volunteer participation in state and central level government social programs, Our student can also get engaged in live projects and ongoing smart city projects, various programs for training, education, and other knowledge-based activities based on the reciprocity and mutual benefit. So we are very, very delighted and thankful to Honorable Commissioner Sir for accepting our collaboration proposal and present here for the ceremony. So with this, I would like to invite Commissioner Sir and all the dignitaries for signing the MOU. So ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. The ceremony is going to start now. May I now request Commissioner Sir to do the honors.
Thank you, dignitaries. May I now call Dr. Nimita Srivastav, Associate Professor BIMHRD, to introduce our chief guest, Honorable Shri Shekhar Singh Ji.
A very good morning to all dignitaries sitting on the dais here, my fellow colleagues and dear student managers. With an immense pleasure and gratitude, I would like to introduce our honorable chief guest, Shri Shekhar Chandrahas Singh Ji, who is embellishing us today at SBUP. Sir has imbibed a magnificent persona. He is a visionary behind the great initiative of developing PCMC as a smart city. Honorable Shekhar Singh Ji undoubtedly believes in Loka Samast Sukhino Bhavantu. Let the entire world would be happy. Honorable Shekhar Singh Ji is an IS 2012 batch who did his graduation in B.Tech Civil Engineering from IIT Guwahati and achieved master's degree in structural engineering from University of California, Berkeley. Our chief guest, Shekhar Chandrahas Singh Ji's professional career is decorated with enormous dedicated achievement which started in 2012. He first joined as Assistant Collector Nagpur in 2013. In 2015, with the full determination, he served Jilla Parishad, Sindhudurg as Chief Executive Officer. From 2018 to 2022, he dedicatedly served the Gadchiroli and Satara district as a district collector. And now, currently, he is adorning us as CEO, Pcscl and Commissioner of Pimpri-Chinchwad Municipal Corporation. As it has been illustrated in our Indian Vedas and Puranas, Vidya dadati vinayam, vinayad yati patratamaha, patratvata dhanmapnoti, dhanat dharma tata sukham. Our honorable chief guest Shekhar Sarji adorned this Sanskrit shloka perfectly in his impressive career achievements. Shekhar Chandrahas Sarji is a distinguished personality who has achieved many accolades for his decorated professional career, accompanied with social work initiatives, and has received many rewards and recognition for his extraordinary services and achievements. He received second award as Best District Collector for Best Performance under Maji Vasundhara Abhiyan under the chairmanship of Honorable Chief Minister on 5th June 2021. The district ranked first in the Poshan Abhiyan Jan Andolan program implemented under the Integrated Child Development Service Scheme by Honorable Chief Minister and Honorable Deputy Chief Minister on 8th March 2022. Our chief guest, Honorable Shekhar Chandra Sarji, also added one more extraordinary feather in his cap as he received Outstanding District Skill Development Scheme Award 2022-21 by Honorable Central Minister of Skill Development on 9 June 2022. Our Honorable Chief Guest, Shekhar Sarji, is a firm believer who focuses on promoting an initiative of No Plastic Zone awareness regarding environmental sustainability and climate change. Thus, Honorable Shekhar Sarji, as youth icon, leading an environmental-friendly campaign which can save our planet Earth and Mother Nature and will provide countless benefits to our upcoming generation as well as present too as a blessing in disguise. As it is said, it's the little things that citizens do. That's what will make the difference. We at SBUP certainly believes in dedication, determination, and discipline, a slogan well said always by our beloved Bala sir. We all accompany you, sir, in this pious initiative of a Smart City campaign for sure, sir. Thanking all. Floor is all yours, sir. Thank you.
Respected members on the dais, Professor B. Parmanandan, Pro-Chancellor, his entire team, Dr. Sanjay Gandhi and Mr. Manoj Mishra, the other two speakers, all the respected faculty, members of the institute, various colleges, and the most difficult part of the audience, all dear students. It's not very easy to talk to students generally also because they are the only bunch who can boo you down while you are speaking or make you feel that you are probably boring them to death with various gestures and other intonations. Already I see few members dozing off, and that's not for the college, that happens in every college throughout the world. So I hope not to put further more people to dozing thereafter. But thank you to Professor Parmanandan for the kind introduction that you gave. In India, somehow I always feel, I don't know if there has been other benefit to the masters in US, but people start taking you a little bit more seriously in India than otherwise. So that has definitely been one advantage that I've had of the masters that I did. Otherwise also it does add few other things to the work that I do, but that has also been a general refrain as far as that is concerned. Today is also a very important day otherwise. Can anyone tell me what is there today? Shaheed Divas, yeah. So that's also a day that we've been celebrating in India for some days. Probably the young generation, last time we remembered was in Rang De Basanti. And after that, in between, we keep remembering. But today is also a very important day as far as our country is concerned, especially now that we are celebrating 75 years of our independence. Congratulations also to the Institute in general for celebrating the Silver Jubilee of 25 years. So a big congratulations. And I think the way that you've grown up with the ethos of your founder, I think that speaks volume of the way that the institution has been groomed, and the students sitting here and not sitting here otherwise have been groomed by the institution. So kudos to the entire college for that. Initially, I thought I'll start with something to do with startups, but then I also thought, and this was a discussion that I had in another college not many weeks ago, which was with regards to the $5 trillion economy that we keep saying. And I think it would be more prudent to talk to you in a larger framework of that particular aspect, rather than just focusing it on the startups. I'm quite sure Mr. Sanjay Gandhi and Mr. Manoj Mishra would be better speakers to speak on the startup in general, what you could do, what you should do, what you should not do. But in general, I thought I could speak about the economy overall in terms of what PCMC has been trying to do, in terms of what Pune has been doing. And in this whole paradigm, or in this whole maze or puzzle of this $5 trillion economy, a term which you must be often hearing about, I think Maharashtra plays a huge role in that entire thing, with almost about $1 trillion expected to come from Maharashtra by about 2030. And in that entire $1 trillion, almost about, that's about 20% of the whole of India, about 25 to 30% is expected to come from the Pune region. Even in today, Pune region ranks almost about 7th in the whole of India, with almost about $70 billion worth of, GDP, if I could call, for the city or for the region in particular. And it's been colleges like you, the whole huge skill set that we have in Pune, that has really made Pune economy so vibrant, that has really made Pune as a city to look out for. In terms of the startups also, I was just reading before coming here, Pune was recently also ranked 4 in the country in terms of the startup index. It ranked 90th in the world. Not very good probably. We should be striving to reach top 10, top 20, which Bangalore is currently. But definitely in terms of the country, we rank about 4th in terms of providing the startup ecosystem space available for the new startups. And as far as the $5 trillion economy is concerned, I think the role of city administration that PCMC has been playing, that Professor Paramanandan was saying with regards to the industries being present, I think it's been a very symbiotic relationship that PCMC shares. So much so that many of the industries that are there in PCMC predate the municipal corporation itself. So the industries here, especially the Swedish industries, are here from 1940, 41, 42. And the municipal corporation only came up in 1982. So in terms of the role of the city administration, and as we are discussing, as we signed the MOU also today, in terms of the role that probably your college expects you to play, or you probably expect yourself to play, or probably we from the city administration side expect you to play, is in terms of the urban infrastructure. And urban economy, if you look at Maharashtra, currently it's about 55 to 60% of the people are living in the cities. I'm quite sure most of you also would be from the cities, few would be from the rural areas as well. But I'm quite sure if you ask you to raise your hands, majority of you would be from the cities as your native place. How many of you are from the cities? So I was a little bit off the mark. So it's about 60% from the cities, it looks like, and about 40% from the rural areas. But cities are, to a major extent, is what is driving the economy as of now, with a very, very loaded part from the rural areas also coming in terms of the agriculture, etc. But if we look at in terms of cities and what sort of urban infrastructure that we are trying to provide, what sort of services as a municipal corporation that we are trying to provide, I think you also, as young people entering the industry, should also be really aware of, and that's what your Pro-Chancellor was also saying when we were sitting down in the conference hall, that our students should also learn empathy, should also learn issues about social sector, should also learn issues about what's happening in the society in general, and not just in terms of the placement or not just in terms of the money. I do disagree with him. Money is the driving power of today's generation, and there are no two ways about it. Anyone who says that is not a fact is actually either bluffing himself or bluffing someone else. But apart from money, if you could also think about something else, is something that I would briefly like to touch upon. In terms of what we try to do in the city, there's always a tension which is there in terms of the public infrastructure that we have to provide. Whether it is with regards to the various economic sections, do you really serve the well-off economic sections in terms of the roads and the other infrastructure, or do you really serve the economic strata of the society which is a little bit lower on the economic scale? And how do you balance both the things? How do you also balance in terms of the various social classes that are there in the city, and how do you take everyone along? How do you take disabled people along? How do you take third gender people along? How do you take other cross sections of the societies which are probably not having that sort of a representation in the society as probably their numbers would point to, or if the numbers also don't point to, even if they're minority, they become an important part of the society that we really can't forget about. And there are various such cross-sections available in the society, right from people living in the slums, right from people living in probably our shelter homes, people living also on the footpaths and things like that. And how do you start engaging with them? How do you start or pay attention to the infra that we create, to the other services that we offer, which creates a balance between these two cross-sections? It's also a big debate about the kind of hard infra that we create versus the soft infra that needs to be created. So it's not always just bridges, roads, and further going forward, tunnels and underpasses that are needed. It's also about providing water as a last mile connectivity to the last person, even living illegally in an illegal encroachment or a slum area. You can't simply say that because you're living in slum, I will not provide you basic services. We need to provide services like water and toilet, etc., etc. It's also about creating a balance between these hard infra things with the social infra or the social aspects. And that is where I would really want to probably point a bit of your attention and try to pick your brains as far as that is concerned. And my earnest request to you, we have a lot of MBA students sitting here, probably a few BBA students also. Going forward, you will most probably be going into private sector jobs, in companies, as your Pro-Chancellor again was mentioning, either be a job seeker or be a job creator. Either of those roles will take you in sectors which are outside the public sector, outside the government sector. But whenever you do not forget the tension that would always exist between your shareholders and your stakeholders. So please never forget your stakeholders, which is a larger cross-section than just your bottom line and your top line in terms of your shareholders or in terms of your management. So I think I would really exhort all of you to focus on that part as well and to see where you can take your stakeholders along with your shareholders as well. There's also always really, a tension that we keep focusing, and that is becoming more and more acute as we talk about smart cities. And I often keep saying this thing, people across the city keep saying कि खड्डे पहले भर लो रोड के, उसके बाद स्मार्ट सिटी करिए, पानी पहले सबको दे दो, उसके बाद स्मार्ट सिटी कीजिए, बाकी चीजें पहले कर लो, उसके बाद ये चीज कीजिए. But I was just recently seeing Rocket Boys. How many of you have seen Rocket Boys? Very few. I would earnestly request all of you to see Rocket Boys. It's a series on Sony Live. I'm not advertising for it, nor do I have any stake in that. But it's a series on Vikram Sarabhai and Homi Bhabha and how India's space program and nuclear program came into being. And how that debate is as old as our country, where people were not really believing if ISRO or space satellites would have any advantage whatsoever. There's a whole sequence in that show which goes on to prove that people really thought that why should we waste money in satellites and rocket launching. To now, when our entire 5G, and just yesterday, Honorable Prime Minister launched the 6G mission for India to be operationalized from 2030. And it's the satellites which are, driving the whole thing. It looks like a no-brainer to you right now, but those debates never end. The debates are still continuing as far as infra is concerned, and that is what we keep listening to in terms of smart city. And that is what we keep saying, that yes, we need to work on all those things. Yes, we are far from perfect as a city also and as a system also. Roads still need much of the investment, much of our focus. Water still needs all that. Sewerage, drainage still needs all that. And those are the bread and butter issues. But if you don't think about data collection, if you don't think about the way the smart cities have really tried to be a beacon house or a lighthouse for so many things in the world, then I think we'll be missing the bus. I don't know how many of you know, there are 100 smart cities in India, each with an outlay of 1,000 crores. So almost a 1 lakh crore project is what Smart Cities mission has been running for the past 5 years. It's the single biggest project in terms of smart cities anywhere in the world. And I can tell you with some level of pride, in spite of all the criticism that the Smart City mission has had from various quarters, and some of it rightly so, I think it has really shown a way forward for the city administrations. It has really shown a way forward for the governments also to start thinking about data collection as a really big part of the entire thing that we keep doing. In terms of the data collection also, we in the government are famous for absolutely trash data to absolutely brilliant data. So we have the entire spectrum available in the government. The data that Election Commission generates or the census generates or various surveys generate is absolutely top notch. It's of international quality, and Indian census data is amongst the best in the world. But there are a lot of other data which is almost trashy because we really don't focus about how we are collecting that data. One paradigm shift that Smart Cities is trying to do is trying to disrupt the entire data collection mechanism in the government sectors. And the way that it's happening is it's an automatic data collection. There's no human intervention involved. So there's no deflation of the data. There's no inflation of the data. Just to give you a small example, and we are still trying to close the entire smart city projects in PCMC. It has not yet happened yet. By June end, we do intend to close all the projects. But once the projects get operationalized, for example, we've implemented a project where we've automated 10,000 water meters in the city. And what it will do is it will automatically collect all your meter readings as far as water consumption is concerned, which then also gives me a lot of leverage in terms of trying to work on that data. For example, what's the consumption pattern in the city? What's the consumption pattern with the time of the day? What's the consumption pattern with the area in the city? Which area consumes more? Which area consumes less? Which are the households which are consuming more? What is the spread across the economic cross-section? What is the spread across city in terms of geography? Which then helps us play with the data going forward. So this is the paradigm shift which is happening. It is all data which is being collected, which is automatic. It is not something manual someone is feeding, or you go to a meter, you write how much meter reading is there, you come back and then you feed that data again in the Excel sheet. Same is happening, say, with regards to air quality analysis, with regards to sewage treatment plant, the water that we treat in sewage, what is the quality of that water? What is the pH value, BOD, COD of that water? Also, what is the air quality parameter? And then that data is also collected automatically. Why I am spending some time with all of you, we keep talking about big data, we keep talking about data analytics, we keep talking about metadata, etc., etc. To me, till now, those have been buzzwords as far as governments were concerned, but from 3 to 4 years, last 3 to 4 years, I've been observing a paradigm shift, and that's why I'm calling it disruptive. Going forward, not only we will have access to data which is absolutely incorruptible, so to say, but also give us tool to analyze this data and come to a conclusion and try to find out solutions based on that. And why is it important for all of you to know this is something that I intend to talk next is with regards to the entire startup ecosystem. And this data going forward through a sense of collaboration with the various startups, with young people like you, is where we intend to leverage that data and try to find solutions as far as that data is concerned. So that we have a lot of urban problems currently, and there has been a lot of interest in the government as well to engage startups, to engage young people, to try to find solutions to problems which we generally otherwise, focus on them in a very, very longish way. Just to give you an example, there's a platform which has been started by Government of India, and PCMC Smart City is very much part of it. It's called CIX platform, where the government gives us the freedom to procure services from a startup if it solves the urban problems in the city. And we'll be coming out with those urban problems very soon. I would request all our MBA students sitting here, someone who really wants to go forward, start something new, start something on your own, what is called as a job creator, would really want you to apply for that CIX challenge. And the government has given us the freedom to procure services as far as our problem statement is concerned, up till about 20 lakh. So earlier we used to issue tenders, or we had to issue tenders, but if it's a new novel solution, we can now directly procure that solution. And the kind of ecosystem that PCMC Smart City has tried to provide was a path-breaking step actually, which was taken by my predecessor, Mr. Shravan Hardikar, in 2018 when we started Startup Incubation Center along with the Smart City. That incubation center started really well. We've had some successes, we've had some failures. There are a huge scope for our improvement. We need to really improve on ourselves. I was just discussing today morning that T-Hub in Telangana, I don't know how many of you know about it, in Hyderabad, Gachibowli. That is sort of like a lighthouse for all other cities to follow, for all other states also to follow, and that is where we intend to take this institution called Auto Cluster in coming time, for it to act as one of the innovation hubs, not just for the state, but for the whole country. And for it to provide a kind of an atmosphere for the startups, a facilitated environment that is needed for the young minds, not just for networking, not just for coming on a common platform, not just for only financing. So all these things we are trying to do now also. We are trying to mentor, we are trying to create a network of startups, we are trying to bring banks on board, we are trying to have events like Hackathon. In May, we are having an event on the lines of Shark Tank, where we'll be calling up startups, we'll be calling angel investors, and we'll be trying to connect both of them and see which startups can be really funded by those angel investors. But to go beyond that and provide few services which individual startup or someone starting really own on their own money or the parents' money or the bank's money might not have access to various facilities. So that is where we intend ourselves to go forward. There are a lot of startups in the PCMC Startup City Incubation Center which are doing quite well. About 16 of them are doing really well. 4 of them we are closely working ourselves with the Smart City. One of those solutions, Parking Pal, is something that we are really currently also, this chap called Akshay Barambe, very young person, very enthusiastic guy. We are collaborating with him and trying to operationalize that Parking Pal app throughout the city. Also dovetailing it with our parking policy. Currently you would see a lot of people parking, including all the students, maybe outside colleges, etc., parking randomly on the road or in non-parking areas. Very soon we do intend to end all of that, create parking areas, create no parking zones, and in the parking zones, parking areas on the street, off the street, and then try to see how we can take it forward. So Parking Pal is just one of the examples where we are trying to collaborate. There are 2 other startups that we are trying to collaborate. One of them is working on the water hyacinth problem that you see in the rivers. It's there in Pavna, it's there in Mula. And we are trying to work out a solution as far as those water hyacinths are concerned. So I just want you to open your mind, look around, also make money, but at the same time be a part of that $5 trillion economy as far as urban infrastructure is concerned. And the problems that you face in urban infrastructure or the urban domain are really, really very diverse. They range from top-end data crunching, top-end metadata use, big data analytics, down to something very, very basic, how to fill potholes more efficiently, or how to solve the problems of drainage manholes. If the manhole is open, how can I get a quick automatic red flag generated on my system which will tell that so-and-so manhole in that area, the lid is not proper, that there is a problem with the lid and someone needs to go and fix that lid. Or with regards to water supply, or with regards to the sewage treatment plants, or with regards to the air quality index, or with regards to smart traffic. There's a solution that we are now implementing, it's called ATCS, POC, proof of concept, etc. is done. We are yet to implement it in the city in the designated 83 traffic signals that we've decided. After this ATCS, your speed violation would be automatic, your red light jumping would be automatic, your not wearing of helmets, especially by students, and that's a huge problem with the students driving your bikes, that would be automatic, and all these challans would automatically be accruing on your help us going forward, help us create use cases to provide green corridors. So on a single stretch, if I have 10 red lights and all of them have ATCS system, and if I have an ambulance passing or a donor vehicle carrying a donor organ passing, I could provide a green corridor just on the click of a button in an ICCC. So that's the kind of advantage that Smart City can leverage for the city. Now it all depends on us whether we are able to leverage that data or not. Because for all the data that we keep generating, if I'm not analyzing it, if I'm not making it a part of my decision framework, it is of no use. So I would really call all of you, I would really invite all of you to be a part, and we've signed that MOU. That's a great start that we are doing. We would see further on how we can collaborate, if there are few problems that we can float. If few of you who are interested could start working with the Smart City as a summer internship project for first year, second year, third year students based on what you can offer to us. That will also be something that we need to be selecting on that count. But taking all that into consideration, I think the MOU that we've signed today, it's a very welcome initiative that Smart City and the Smart City team has got done with the entire Balaji College, and I think it can really push us forward into a direction where we can collaborate in a much better fashion. I'm quite sure Mr. Sanjay Gandhi, Mr. Manoj Mishra would be really enlightening you with the whole startup ecosystem. We were just talking, Mr. Sanjay Gandhi has been working on those incubation centers and other things for quite some time. He has a vast experience, and his experience in terms of startup ecosystem will be really beneficial to all of you. Smart City has been trying to push the whole agenda, the whole envelope as far as startups are concerned. As I said in the very beginning, we have succeeded in some places, we have failed at few other, but we are trying to see how we can be a part of that entire energetic ecosystem. I'll close by saying that there's a lot of tension currently also between development parameter and your sustainability parameters. Yesterday, I don't know how many of you read, IPCC gave a definitive estimate that by 2030, the temperature would have risen by 1.5 degree, and that is what everyone was fearing, and that is almost a done thing now. So by 2030, the temperature would have risen by 1.5 degree, and needless to say, multiple problems are getting created. Few of you who might be from rural background or from agriculture backgrounds might be knowing the havoc or the silent havoc that climate change is playing on the crops throughout India with regards to the rainfall pattern, with regards to the quantity of rainfall, with regards to the temporal variation of the rainfalls. And it's also an area which is very, very interesting, because that is where the major funding from all PE, from all hedge funds is currently going. And that is also very important from your point of view to understand in terms of the direction that you want your career to take. So sustainable green initiatives, climate technologies, green technologies are something that the whole field is here to stay. And whether you are a job seeker or a job creator, if you try to sort of think about problems that we face as a city, as a country, as far as climate change is concerned, I think you will be headed in the right direction as far as the next 10 to 15 years are concerned. It all depends which area you want to choose, but if you do intend to choose that, I would just give you a simple number and end with today all of that I had to say. Recently, we had a visit to this institution called ARAI, Automotive Research Association Institute in Chakan. It's a research institute, a testing institute, a standardizing agency for the government of India, top-notch in India. It tests all sort of vehicles. And the guys in ARI were telling me that there are 600 startups in Pune area alone working on two-wheelers currently, which is EV two-wheelers. So that's the amount of interest that the green technology, EV mobility, green mobility is generating. And I think it would really behoove you to really start thinking into that direction, start thinking about green technology, start thinking about sustainability solutions, and how you can be a part of that entire journey, not just with regards to the society and the planet and the world in general, but also in terms of you trying to make good in your career. But once again, thank you to SBUP for calling us today here for the signing of the MOU that we had. We in PCMC have been collaborating with colleges, have been collaborating with industries and students in general. We could see further as well how to deepen this collaboration, take a bit of a deep dive into how we can collaborate, not just vertically but horizontally as well, in terms of the various functionalities that probably the college and the university is able to provide. But once again, thank you so much. Thank you for patiently listening to me, and would invite all of you to take real advantage of this MOU, come up with ideas, lot of solutions and problems you know, lot of problems that we would also be floating, but come forward, try to solve those problems, earn money on the way, and provide that solution to the city as well. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now the floor is open for Q&A.
A very good morning, sir. I Almaz Fatma, student manager from BIMHRD. My question for you is, how was your journey and what inspired you to become a civil servant from an engineer to MS from US?
So overall, you feel that that is not a place that I can really settle into. There was always also this thing that even after doing my structural engineering, I always thought that I would go back, open a structural engineering firm, because there's a huge deficit of real structural engineering firms in India. It still is. But then I also got a little bit bored with structural engineering. And that is what your Pro-Chancellor was also saying. The whole ecosystem of education in India is that sometimes you don't even realize which direction you are going into. So now if I go into hindsight and I look myself at probably the interest that I always had, I would have gone in liberal arts than engineering. I would have gone and studied economics probably. And that is what I intend to do even now. I have not stopped, and I would be soon going for a master's again in 4 or 5 years to come. Not immediately, that's still 4 or 5 years ahead. But then I started realizing that I also could be a structural engineer for the rest of my life. I always wanted to be a part, and it would look like a very bookish answer, but would wanted to be a part of the whole trajectory that our country is on in one way or the other. And I thought UPSC and being in civil services gives you that platform. I still believe it's an unparalleled landscape to get working in public service, being an IS officer. I don't know of any other job in this world which provides you such a depth and such a breadth of the various topics that you can be dealing with. You will be dealing with education one day, health one day, infrastructure the other day. You will be dealing with animal husbandry on some days. The stray dogs and stray cows are very much a part of my daily job, as roads and bridges and other things are concerned. So I think it gives you a very huge landscape, would really exhort a lot of you to also go for it. It all depends on what you want from your life. It's a space which will not give you a lot of money, but you'll be very satisfied in your life, and you'll be taken care of as far as comforts are concerned. But yes, hard money is not much in government service. That is something that you'll have to be very, very sure about. But I have never felt the need also, because a lot of things get taken care of. So this is from a personal domain I'm telling you, because you always have to think about a selfish personal domain as well. It cannot be public service 24/7. It has to be something that will be beyond for you, for your family, and for your own personal actualization as well.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Good morning, sir. Myself, Kalyani Kavle, and my question to is how smart city or and metro city relate each other or help each other for Pimpri-Chinchwad.
So well, smart city, as far as the legal entity is concerned, it's an incorporated company, so Section 8 company. There's a chairman and MD for that, is Additional Chief Secretary Revenue, Nitin Parikh is the chairman of our board, and the CEO of Smart City. And it's a whole different legal entity than municipal corporation. But naturally, so I'm also the commissioner of municipal corporation, so there is a great synergy that we have between Smart City and municipal corporation. There are multiple ways where Smart City has been able to help the municipal corporation. Like just to give a small example, there are various projects that we implemented. One of the projects that we implemented also, one of your speakers today said, was about Smart Sarthi. So Smart Sarthi is something which has really onboarded, which has really re-energized the whole Sarthi concept that Srikhar Pradesi has started 2012-2013. So much so that the citizen engagement in today's program is a part of that entire Smart Sarthi citizen engagement. We were trying to engage with various cross-sections of the society. So we are engaging with students, we are engaging with school students, we are engaging with senior citizens, we are engaging with RWAs, we are engaging with industries. So various cross-sections of the society trying to understand their problems, their issues, their solutions, their feedback. So that's just one example. So it started with Smart City, but now it's helping the whole municipal corporation in terms of the grievance redressal, in terms of people putting up their grievances on the Smart City, Smart Sarthi portal. And with some pride I can say we've been sufficiently successful in trying to solve grievances of the people through Smart Sarthi portal. There is something definitely that we can improve on, as is there for any system, but we've been sufficiently successful in trying to solve small issues. You know, street light is not working, the manhole in my area is open, the sewerage is not working, the drain is not being cleaned, there's a pothole in my road. These small issues which keep irritating citizens, I think Smart Sarthi has been very successful. And then there are multiple solutions. There's a whole solution, a whole project in Smart City where we've onboarded 35 services of our municipal corporation on e-platforms and then integrated all the solutions. So property tax, there's a whole portal, water taxation portal, Sky Sign portal, which gives permission and licenses for the hoardings that you see, or commercial establishment, and all of these portals are getting integrated onto a common platform, where for the citizen, the end result is a seamless service. I go on a common platform, I should be able to avail all the services. At the back end for the municipal corporation, it integrates all my data onto a common platform, where on a common platform I can have data for property taxation, for water taxation, for XYZ. So that then, as I said, we can play with the data. So smart city, I think, as I said, is just a beginning. It's not the end. A last example, I don't know how many people or how many of you have traveled on the Sbup-Pcscl-Mou road. The pathways that you see, the streetscaping, urbanscaping work that has been done, the cycling tracks that you see, got started with smart city project. So much so that now we have the largest network of cycling tracks in the whole of India. And we are moving very, very fast. We are moving very fast to cover the whole city with those pedestrians, with those cycling tracks, and that is something which is very, very common, right? You step outside India, that is something very natural. And here I am trying to tell you with a pride. So those are the things that we are still trying to learn. And if you see today's people, the Stockholm syndrome that used to be earlier, where you used to feel that road में खड्डे तो होना ही है, पानी तो लेट आना ही है, बस तो टाइम पे आना ही नहीं है, all that is stopped. The kind of expectations that people and young people like to have from us is sky high, and rightly so. And that puts the pressure also on us, and more so because of the advent of the social media. You guys have access to what is the best in the world. So you're not currently comparing the city that you visited physically, but you are comparing the city that you saw on Instagram. You're comparing the city that you saw on Facebook. You are comparing the solution that you read about on website or some news portal, etc. So that's the kind of pressure that gets created in the governments, and as I was saying, very, very rightly so. So smart city gives you a great platform, a great structured framework to try to solve all these problems.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning, sir. My name is Sbup-Pcscl-Mou. I am a student manager from BIMM. As you have already explained about the traffic situations, new traffic rules and regulations that are going to come with the smart city project. So, as we all know that smart city is going to bring many job opportunities, entrepreneurship opportunities. But my question is, what are the sectors which we can look forward into it when it comes to job opportunities, where we can go, where we can contribute?
So there are multiple sectors. The first sector I told you is going to be data analytics is going to be a major driver of change, and government alone can't do that. So in terms of analyzing the data, in terms of taking data from the government and analyzing, coming up with a solution, that would be the first thing. Second would be your green jobs. As far as sustainability parameters are concerned, it could be green mobility in terms of provisioning of charging stations, in terms of provisioning of battery swapping stations, in terms of EV vehicles, whether they are two-wheelers, whether they are three-wheelers. We are now running buses, about 600 buses of PM-PML run jointly by PMC and PCMC are EV vehicles. We intend to make it 1,000 by 2027, and then by 2030 replace the whole fleet by electric vehicles. So EV mobility, green mobility is again some sector that you should be really thinking about. There is another sector which is not very glamorous. It's sewerage. But there's a huge opportunity throughout India. The current dispensation in the government of India is very, very serious, right from Honorable PM to down below, to really bring all the cities onto the drainage network. There are cities yet, probably few areas in PCMC as well, some places where the drainage is not properly managed. There are so many cities, PCMC is not one of them. The planning in PCMC has been really good overall, even though we are now struggling to match up with the growth that is happening, which don't even have drainage network. There are few cities who directly leak the entire drainage into the rivers, into your nalas. So sewerage, STP technology, and things related to that is also something that we don't think about, but it's something which is coming up in a very big way in the next 10 to 15 years. Unless and until each and every small city comes up onto the platform of a proper drainage network, plus So there would be n number of things which Mr. Gandhi and Mr. Mishra can really throw light on later as well.
Thank you, sir.
Please, I think he can ask. He is doing that.
Sir, very good morning, sir, and thank you very much for your knowledgeable insights. Sir, as we know that Pune city is well known for its education, rich cultural heritage and everything in India as well as in abroad. But sir, Pune city also has a problem of huge traffic, which creates a mental and physical dissatisfaction among the citizens. So how we are going to deal with this problem?
So I'd like to segregate myself from Pune city. I will talk about Sbup-Pcscl-Mou. Sbup-Pcscl-Mou, still the situation is not that bad, but not perfect as well. So we have not reached the situation which Pune is currently facing, but few areas they are inching towards that, and that is the Wakad Road or your Bunker Chowk and other places. Now you are saying maybe around your college also, Kala Road, etc. So I am very well aware about that stretch as well. There are multiple things that we need to do about traffic, and there is not just one thing, right? I just talked to you about parking. Parking policy and parking regulation is a huge ingredient of a smooth traffic flow. We intend to do that. Currently, your parking on the roads is absolutely free. We intend to start charging all of you going forward, because that is how we would be able to regulate people traveling to random places. Your innermost part of that, and you would be surprised to know, in India the whole focus is increased parking spots. The whole focus is increased parking areas. Paris is doing away with 140,000 parking spaces in Paris downtown. You might think why? Because they are saying in downtown you don't need your car. You please use public transport. You use metro, you use bus, but we are doing away with the parking spaces. So parking is one very important factor for that. Second factor is also public transport. Now, public transport is easier said than done. I myself am not using public transport. So the kind of ethical push that I can ask people to do it limits me personally. But from the side of the city, we are trying to do multiple things. Metro has come up till PCMC a little beyond, it's going to go till Nidhi. We are now talking of a metro from Wakad to Nashik Pata, further to Chakan. There is already a metro till Hinjewadi, Shivaji Nagar, Kothur, Katra. So the whole Twin City, PMC, PCMC, metro is an important part. The BRT corridors that you see in PCMC are the best in India. We have the best network of BRT corridors. Ahmedabad is a little bit better than us, but after Ahmedabad we are there. So public transport would have to be a very critical part of that. And then, regulation, simple Danda by Municipal Corporation and Danda by also police. And finally, engineering solutions, which would require, for example, this Kala Khadak part. There is a plan to completely bypass the Bunker Chowk and take it beyond through a series of 4-level segregated grade separator. But then we are having to deal with the national highway also, and national highway is also coming up with the whole thing. So I'm just trying to tell you, so these are the 4-5 things that we are looking at, and smart city has been an important ingredient in that as far as ATCS is concerned. I already briefed you about ATCS.
Good morning, sir. Sir, I want to know that how do you see the contribution of private players or the corporate houses alongside the government and the public sector towards the building of smart city?
Private sector and corporate sector is very important, not just as the people implementing the projects. When we call for projects, it's always the private sector who comes in. For example, currently we are working with L&T, Tech Mahindra, Ethos, with varying degree of success and with varying degree of plus minuses, but we are working with these, and these are very much private sectors. They are helping us integrate various things. For example, the GIS platform or the ERP platform of bringing all services on a common platform. Ethos is helping us. L&T has helped us create a 600-kilometer fiber network throughout the city. It's a multiple duct that we have, and we are absolutely ready to roll out 5G in the city with the help of that optical fiber network that we have. TechM is helping us implement all these smart solutions like smart water meters, smart
water analyzers, smart air quality analyzers, CCTVs, automated traffic control system. So private sector has been a very, very strong part in terms of us implementing it. And as I said, startups would start to become a real driving force as far as this data crunching is concerned. Because government is generally a little bit weak in doing the data analytics. And I see startups and I see a lot of private players coming in and leveraging this data. So there's a whole platform called IUDX where it's a Government of India initiative spearheaded by IISc Bangalore, where we are putting up our entire data on a platform and then starting to share it with various stakeholders, and we would be charging our data obviously. So we would be making money out of the data as well in time trying to solve a problem.
Everyone, please, as we are running out of time, so this would be the last question.
Okay, very good morning, sir. My name is Pooja Bhatt. I'm student manager from BMHRD. So I was going through an article regarding the negatives or the backlash that the smart city is facing. So I came across a statement that stated, as the city moves along its smart city journey, it has to bring the public along. So, sir, I want to ask you, how are you planning to educate the youth and the regular citizens regarding the trust deficit that might get created because of the smart city project? Because I'm sure there must be resistance from different sections of the society. So, I'm sure you have certain plan to, cater to those situations. So, yeah.
Part of the plan.
Is this?
Talking to all of you, talking to 600, 700, 800 of you, trying to make you understand what smart city is doing. This is a part of the plan. We did it in DY Patil, we did it in Sbup-Pcscl-Mou, we are doing it with you, we are going to do it with some other colleges. Similarly, we are engaging other people like RWAs, Resident Welfare Association, Senior Citizen Association, Industry Association, Business Association, Market Associations, various NGOs, various civil society partners, various opinion makers. We are trying to put a communication strategy in place. We've done a decent job, not a perfect job. We are trying to make ourselves better. But you're absolutely correct. There is a greater need for us to communicate what we've been trying to do or what we've done more, in a better way. Because one thing that we sometimes fail to understand that these are very complex projects. It is not simply creating a portal. It's not simply creating a software solution. When we talk about, and currently we have about 7,000 CCTV cameras in the city, when we talk about that, it is not just installing a camera and that's all. It's about installing the camera, it's about digging your roads, it's about laying your optical fiber, connecting all these cameras to a security architecture, connecting all these cameras then finally to a ICCC, trying to operationalize the integrated control command center, and also integrate the various other factors. And that is one solution I'm saying. So it is a complex project. It is up to us to make it successful and our duty to make it successful. But thank you for that feedback. We are also on the same track, trying to make our communication better. And frankly, such platforms are a part of that strategy.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I would like to request Dr. Nutan Samdani, Associate Professor, to brief about SBUP Entrepreneurship Development Cell.
Thank you, Priya. A very good morning to one and all present here. Myself, Dr. Nutan Samdani, feel privileged to present the brief about Entrepreneurship Development Cell to be launched at Sri Balaji University, Pune, before such an august gathering. I would like to begin with a quote by management thinker, Professor Peter Drucker. The best way to predict future is to create it. And we at Sri Balaji University believe in it and always strive hard to follow it. And one such avenue to create future is through entrepreneurship. And I would like to express my gratitude and pleasure that in lines with whatever Honorable Shekhar sir has said today, we have taken this first step by launching the ED cell today. With a motto to inculcate spirit of entrepreneurship and nurturing tomorrow's
job creators, we are founding the ED Cell at Sri Balaji University. The ED Cell will provide a platform for the students to think and innovate, which will further enable them to solve some business and social problems. The short-term goals of ED Cell include building network of industry experts, mentors, and investors, conducting inter and intra B-School flagship events, launching content activities for branding. The long-term vision of ED Cell includes creating a sustainable entrepreneurship ecosystem which would contribute to the economic growth and social entrepreneur development by means of an incubation center and successful startups. In order to achieve the short-term and the long-term goals, we plan to conduct various activities through the ED Cell at SBUP, namely like hackathons, master classes by founders, pitching workshops, entrepreneurship magazine, e-summit, e-week, TEDx talks, and many more. We also plan to start an entrepreneurship course which would have a good blend of theory and practical. The incubation center would provide an opportunity for students to get their startups incubated for 2 to 3 years. The incubation center would offer services like access to experts and studio, mentoring, support to legal and financial matters, trainings and workshops, co-working spaces, and other infrastructural facilities. We look forward for the enthusiastic involvement of our students and faculty members to make this a successful mission. With the support of our management at SBUP and government bodies like Sbup-Pcscl-Mou Smart City Limited, we are confident that we will be able to hit all milestones as planned. With this assurance, I would like to take your leave and once again thank SBUP management for this opportunity given to me, and also thank everyone for the patient listening. Thank you and good day to all. Over to you, Priya and Devansh.
Thank you, ma'am. Now is the time for launching our Entrepreneurship Development Cell. So I request our Honorable Chief Guest, Shri Shekhar Singh Ji, to do the honors.
Thank you, dignitaries. May I now request our Pro-Chancellor SBUP to present token of gratitude to our chief guest, Shri Shekhar Singh Ji.
May I now request Dr. Anil Keskar, Head R&D SBUP, to welcome Mr. Ravi Kiran Godke, Deputy Commissioner.
May I now call Dr. Pranav Dev, Professor BIMHRD, to introduce our guest, Dr. Sanjay Gandhi.
Ladies and gentlemen, a good afternoon to you. I have the privilege of introducing Dr. Sanjay Gandhi. Dr. Sanjay Gandhi is a well-established educationist, author, mentor, innovator, incubator, and serial entrepreneur. He is the founder of Aspire Knowledge and Skills India, a company that partners with National Skills Development Corporation, NSDC, to build a sustainable skill ecosystem across the country. He has a long history of successful stint as one of the top franchises and the only center of excellence nationally for JetKing. He is also the founder of other successful ventures such as A-Store and Smart Incubator and Diversified Development Hub in Sholapur. He is known for his ability to handle ambiguity, stress, disappointment, failure, and risk, and his ability to pivot his business when faced with changes in the industry. He has been recognized for his contributions to the field of education and training, receiving the Skill India Icon Award at the hands of the Honorable Governor of Maharashtra at Raj Bhavan. Dr. Sanjay Gandhi is the Vice President of the Pune Management Association, PMA, and a member as a skill expert at India CSR. Sir, it is my privilege to invite you to speak a few words. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. I know you people are sitting for a long time. It is very much essential to understand students first. So, Honorable Dais, I will take some of the, definitely I will take a little time to explain you the topic which is given to me. Honorable Dais, these dignitaries of the Dais and students and prolific students, thank you very much for giving me opportunity by PCMC Smart City and this college. Thank you for the management team over here and the whole team in Balaji. This is my second trip in this over here. Earlier I have come as a PMA over here. Before going to startup, I will explain you some of the terminologies which I am going to use, which all you know actually. First terminology I will use is innovation. So what do you understand by innovation? I will explain you in one or two lines. If you have gone to Steve Jobs says, connecting two existing elements in a unique way, nobody has thought of it, is called innovation. So one of the session is happening in Pune by Sbup-Pcscl-Mou on fortune lies at the bottom of the pyramid. That concept has been taken across the globe. So over there, one of the Punekar have asked question to Sbup-Pcscl-Mou, what exactly or what specific you can say about Pune, which is connected to Pune. So he has gone on a white marker board, he draw 3 dots, as Steve Jobs says. So Sbup-Pcscl-Mou has gone to the whiteboard, and he has dotted, first dot he write Pune, second dot he write automobile, and the third dot he writes software. The thing had changed, and one of the big company has taken place into Pune. Kishore Patil was the attendees of that particular conference. He has connected in a different way these 3 dots, automobile, Pune, and software, and it has become the world's largest company as far as the automobile software is concerned. So these conferences, this type of talks are very much essential to connect the dots. You get ideas from these only. It is definitely these talks, the talk which I heard from Shekhar Singh ji right now, really it's an excellent thought, because he has connected all facets of the city in his talk. So one is innovation terminology I have explained you. The other one is startup. When I say startup, can anybody will place my PPT if possible? So startup, when I say startups, startup has got certain compliances. Give me only 15 minutes, guys. I know. Yeah. To PCMC guy, I have given this certificate. Yeah, no issues. So startup has got certain compliances, as you know. Startup, if it is a startup which is any old company which has age is the company age is less than 10 years, can also be a part of startup. A company which has turnover as less than 100 crore can be a part of the startup. The new startups, of course, will have to have certain incorporation certificates, GST certificates, the legal compliances it has to be when it registered on a DP IIT portal. The important aspect of the startup is it has to be scalable, it should create wealth, it should create employment, and it should have the scalable option is social impact you can get. Along with the scalable option, it should have the social impact. So then when you can be a startup. Today, one of my startups has been launched just few days back, 6 months back. Today, it has been launched in Karnataka. CM has been at our store today morning, but because of my commitment, I am here. My team is in Bangalore. So in the startup which I have launched is very simple. It is towards right to repair e-waste, making organized chain of electronics and mobile repairing, that the startup says. So in startups also you should have good observations is required. When you start with any idea, how the idea comes to your mind, that is important. How the thought process will happen so that you will make those ideas. So for that you should have good observation. How many of you know Vijay Shekhar Sharma? Correct, good. So what is his education? While doing his education of BENTC, he has launched one site, indiasite.net. He worked on that site. He sold that site as $1 million after his graduation. Then he founded this 197 as a company. And this 197 initially has done that particular time. People are very much fond of getting the things on the tips. And that's why he come up with exam results, election results, breaking news, cricket scores, anything at finger of tips. That's what his 197 has started with. And that become a parent company of Paytm, you must have seen. So Paytm knows, people knows the Paytm, but you should know the journey of Vijay Shekhar Sharma. That's very important. How many of you know Dipender Goyal? Zomato, right, right. So where he is working? Earlier, before launching Zomato. How the thought of Zomato is come up? Bain and? Correct, correct. So he was working, very good. He was working with Bain and Company, and he was stood in his, at the lunchtime he was in a queue for getting the food. So he come up with an idea, people has to wait to get the food, why not to launch something on that? And then when the Zomato has taken the birth. So everything which you see, whether it is Ola, Bhavesh Agrawal, you must be knowing the story. All these things are observed somewhere or experienced somewhere, and then the idea has come up. So when you're doing startup, other than the compliances, what I say, other than the compliances, you should have this type of idea in your mind. And then the things of startup will come up, and it has to be scalable. As you know, all these things are scalable. The third is entrepreneurship. When it's come to entrepreneurship, I've been fortunate with Narayan Murthy in Tycon conference for 30 plus minutes. So he told me for any entrepreneur, one should have good people first, along with you. So he has got Nandan Nilekani and other team, you can say. So that team is important, that good people team is required whenever you start your business. So good people, then second he say, never compromise in profitability. Always show visually the difference and then the profitability. Don't compromise in profit, don't discounting it. So profitability is very much important. The third he say, never do partnership like 50-50. The day you do 50-50 partnership, the entrepreneurship will close someday. So at the day one should know who is 51 and who is 49. So always do, if you do partnership, 51 and 49%, one should know the boss. So in each company there has to be one boss only. So that is what he told me, and I like that thing, and that is what I am following. So in your company you should be a boss. So these are the 3-4 terminology I will going to use in my presentation. PPT is there? Otherwise I will go on. Okay. So as far as the startups are concerned, I will tell some of the figures so you can get an idea what is happening in this startup ecosystem. We have today 92,000 plus startups registered in India. Out of 92,000 startups, 107 startups has been unicorns. Whenever the valuation goes beyond $1 billion, it's called as an unicorn. We have 80% of the districts in India has been touched with startup. So 80% districts has got startup, whether it is tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. Out of that, 47% people, 47% are women directors of these startups. So that is a very good achievement as far as the startups are concerned. So this is the startup ecosystem, I will say, which is there right now. Now, what are the support to get this startup registered, or what are the support by the government of India? So first and foremost is support through funds. It has got single window portal, Startup India. Then it has reserved 10,000 crore rupee as a seed funding for the startups. It has been monitored by SIDBI, and the SIDBI gives those funds to venture capitalists, and VC invest in your startups. So very big fund is there. Then there are credit guarantee schemes. These are all without collateral, I am saying. The credit guarantee schemes or mudra loans or stand-up loans where you get subsidies. So a lot of schemes are there as far as the funding are concerned. Like we launched a store in October at Pragati Maidan in Delhi, where 5G has been launched, and Narendra Modi ji has inaugurated that exhibition. Today, the launch is happening in Karnataka, where state government of Karnataka is going to place the margin money for the startups. So they will connect 5 lakh people through this scheme. This scheme is called Swami Vivekananda Yuva Shakti Yojana scheme, SYSY. Today itself it is launched in morning 10:30. So that type of schemes are there for every state. Also there are schemes. So funds is not the issue. The second important aspect government of India done is opening up incubation centers. Why incubation centers? Because other than funds, you require support, legal support, prototyping test support, marketing support, branding support, testing support. So all those things are possible through incubation centers. So government has launched certain incubation under Atal Innovation Mission, AIM. There are 4 Atal centers in Pune and PCMC area. They have launched, certain colleges have started incubation centers under Department of Science and Technology. There are certain incubators under MSME, that is Technology Business Incubator, and local business incubators. So these are a lot of incubators are coming. I am running 2 incubators. Now just I have got other incubation center, that is Atal Community Innovation Center. Of course, the focus and the aspect of each incubations are different. Like in Atal Community, it is connected to sustainable development growth. That is, 17 SDGs are there. So from this incubation, you have to connect with those SDGs. That is very important. That is the difference between regular incubation center and the community innovation centers. So very important aspect through incubation is to generate self-employment, to do the startups. After this, still it is coming. Okay, go next. These are all finished. Earlier one. Okay, we will go ahead. So as I told you, there are 2 states which are ahead of us. One is USA, which is 400 plus startups, 440 plus unicorns, and China is there ahead of us, is 300 plus unicorns. And they are the bigger ecosystem, and we are the 3rd largest ecosystem, you can say. The startups, definitely, as I told you, it generate employment, it generates new investments, it gives better GDP. Go next. Go next. Next. Wait. So, this is one of the things you must have seen, G20. So same way the S20 has been there. So in S20, these 20 countries will discuss on the forums on some of the sunrise sectors. I have listened one of the question, which are the sectors has to be. So in this S20, there are 5 to 6 sectors are there, which will be discussed across all the globe or all the countries who are participating. So my appeal to all the students, always attend this type of conferences which are happening in India. Next. Next. Wait. So these are the sunrise sectors in India under Startup 20. One is artificial intelligence. You have seen AI is booming like anything. If you see AI growth, AI sector as such is growing by 35.8%. That is the biggest growth in AI is coming. Geospectacle systems, you have seen the mass vaccination. So it's the best example of, or best example for this technology, which has been used for mass vaccination, where logistics and technology has been integrated. The semiconductor industry, yes, you go in any car or any digital devices nowadays, these semiconductors are very important. So importing of semiconductor is happening. So now government has come up with lot of different schemes like design linked incentive, product linked incentive, PLI. So these schemes are being launched for this semiconductor industry. This is growing like anything. This semiconductor industry. This is again a sunrise sector is considered in S20. Space economy, as sir told earlier also, the private players are coming in space economy and launching their satellites. Pharma industry, yes, you have seen in pandemic how much pharma industry has been grown, and yes, it is growing with double digit consistently. Second is green energy. As per the Paris Agreement, this green energy has been taken place. If you see all roadways, all railways or whatever things are developing nowadays has been taken care of green energy, and foreign direct investments are happening in green energy at a large scale. Right now, $7.8 billion has been invested in green energy in India by FDI. The last one they have going to discuss in S20 is e-mobility. You already know electrical vehicles are being a part of hydraulic buses are coming. So this e-mobility is also important. Next. Why startups are promoted? It's very simple reason, because you get income tax holiday for 3 years. You don't have to pay capital gain tax. You get this 80% discounting in patent registrations. So a lot of benefits are there. If you go on into startups, you get excellent funding through startups. Next. I have already discussed it, the age of if the existing entrepreneur is there, he can also come in startup. Next. Support has been explained to you in large. Next. So thank you all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
May I now request Professor Rajni Pathak, Assistant Professor BIM HRD, to introduce our guest, Mr. Manoj Mishra.
Ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant and graceful afternoon to each and every one of us. Today, on the occasion of signing MOU, we have Mr. Manoj Mishra with us, and I feel extremely honored to introduce our guest for today. Mr. Manoj Mishra has completed his BSc from D.Y. Patil College, Pimpri, Pune, and MBA from well-known and prestigious university, ICFAI, Hyderabad. Mr. Mishra has more than 18 years of experience in financial industry at national and international level. In his professional career, Sir has also worked as investment banker and running business since last 11 years. Sir has also worked in Globex Foundation in Estonia, BIS through Ventures in Serbia, BIS Munzo System Private Limited, India. In his current role as director in Finanza Holding Private Limited, which is based out of Singapore, Finanza Holding Private Limited is a financial advisory for alternate source of funding for startups and SMEs. Its major focus on providing early stage funding and support to promising startups. The company is a specialized investing in technology, healthcare, and consumer goods that have disruptive business models and innovative solutions. So ladies and gentlemen, we all are honored to have an exuberant epitome of knowledge, Mr. Manoj Mishra, for his exemplary accomplishments in corporate sector. And with these words, I request Mr. Manoj Mishra to kindly enlighten us with your words full of wisdom and experience. Sir, the stage is all yours.
Good morning. No, it's morning because all of you are sleeping, I can see. I will not take much time, I will take only 5 minutes of you. Most of the topic has been covered by Commissioner Sir and Mr. Gandhi. The biggest challenge we startup face is of the funding issue. So 20, even though we have 90,000 startups, I can bet sure 20% of the startups die because of the short of funding. Even though government schemes, we have lots of government schemes, most of the startups they are not able to raise the funds which required. Now we are here to fund the startups right from bootstrap to pre-seed, then seed, then venture capital, from Series A, Series B, Series C, and then IPOs. We are working with lots of investors out of Singapore, Europe, and in India. Recently, we are launching one platform in India where startups can register themselves and raise fund for there. You don't have to go to sharks to present your projects. Just upload your information on the platform. You'll get everything, right from legal registration, GST, your legal compliances, trademarks, funding, banks, interest, government schemes, everything. So that's it from my side. We'll get in touch for the platform. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. May I now request Dr. Sanjeet Kumar Das, Director, BITM, to felicitate our guest, Dr. Sanjay Gandhi.
Thank you, sir. May I now request Dr. G. Gopalakrishnan, Director BIMHRD, to present token of gratitude to our guest, Mr. Manoj Mishra.
Thank you, sir. May I now request Dr. Rajeshwari Patil, Deputy Director BIMHRD, to propose a vote of thanks.
Thank you, Priya. Honorable Shri Shekhar Singh, Commissioner PCMC, CEO Pimpri-Chinchwad Smart City Limited, our respected Pro-Chancellor SBUP, Professor Anand sir, Registrar SBUP, Dr. Akshay sir, Head Research and Development Cell, Dr. Keskar sir, Deans, Directors, faculty members, and our most valued guest, Dr. Sanjay Gandhi sir, Mr. Manoj Mishra sir, and my dear student managers. A very good afternoon, and it gives me an immense pleasure to propose the vote of thanks on the occasion of our MOU signing with Pimpri-Chinchwad Smart City Limited and the e-launch of our SBUP Entrepreneurship Development Cell, the ED Cell. On behalf of the SBUP, I extend a hearty vote of thanks to our speakers for gracing their important work and sharing their findings and opinions with us today. A very big thanks to the Commissioner of PCMC for his valuable insights on smart cities and how this initiative is and will contribute towards a healthy society and the well-being of all the members of the society. I'm sure our students agree and will contribute towards creating a sustainable urban infrastructure and bring a balance between the hard and soft infrastructure through research, data collection, and in all possible ways to jointly solve complex problems. With the inauguration of our ED cell, we thank you, sir, to be a part of our journey of job creations. On this occasion, we extend our gratitude to Dr. Sanjay Gandhi, sir, Mr. Manoj Mishra, sir, for their stimulating contributions and insights. I'm sure that our student managers have benefited greatly from your ideas. We thank you for being here with us on this event, and it remains a pronounced pleasure. Have a great day ahead, Thank you, everybody.